I shall vanquish evil. Moment of truth.
Observe the enemy. Come! Nothing satisfactory.
Midas power. Stay sharp. It's not over yet. Let's go. Let's set it up. All right, let's go. No holding back.
Yo, what's up everyone? In today's video, I wanted to go over the builds I'm currently using for the protagonist as well as my other party members in the mid-game of Metaphor ReFantazio. As you could guess from the title, this is mainly going to be talking about the merchant archetype, how to use it most effectively, and why you might want to run 4 merchants at the same time. These builds have let me breeze through the game on hard difficulty, easily completing dungeons in a single day. If you end up finding this video helpful, please be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing for more Metaphor content. Okay, what is the merchant class? This archetype is unlocked with Brigida's follower rank, and this can be started as soon as you reach Wisdom rank 2. From the in-game description, we can see that it uses cash as fuel for its strong physical almighty attacks. Yes, it uses money instead of HP or MP, and it does almighty damage which can never be resisted or blocked. And since it's physical, it can still land critical hits. The move you're going to be using most of the time is called Gold Attack, which does weak damage but has an extremely high critical rate of 35%. Its main synthesis skill is Fortune Slots, which has a low hit rate but always lands critical hits. These moves costing money to use might seem like a downside at first, but it's actually the complete opposite. First, Merchant has a passive that lets you gain money quickly, and secondly, not needing MP for your abilities makes it very easy to complete dungeons in one go, without even needing to spend time farming MP with the mage. Merchant's hero passive is called Alchemy. What it does is give you a chance of gaining money when an enemy is stunned or defeated. I'll put some footage in the background of what it looks like, but you can see that I'm gaining a lot of money with each kill. This means you are pretty much never at risk of running out of money when using Merchant. You are more likely to be positive overall. In addition, their passive Lucky Find increases the likelihood of receiving items after battle by 20%, so you'll always have more to sell or just keep in your inventory. And speaking of items, the next passive is Trader's Summit. This increases the effectiveness of consumables by 1.2 times, and this goes up if you have more members of the same archetype in your party. This is just one of the reasons running 4 merchants can be a good idea, because this passive increases to 2 times effectiveness when there are 4 of the same type in the party. So your 100 HP heal items become 200, your 50% revives become 100%, and your 300 damage items become 600. This makes items even better than they already were, and makes running a healer or even a healing active skill on your party very unnecessary. Now, there are ways to make the merchant archetype even better. Currently, I've progressed Brigida's follower rank enough to have 3 inheritance slots unlocked, and I'll show what I have used them for. The first passive is Diligent Disciple, which increases your critical rate by 5%, and similar to Trader's Summit, this boost increases if you have more of the same archetype in your party. The in-game description isn't very clear of how big of a boost you get, but from some data mining, it was found to be 10, 15, and then 30% with 4 archetypes in the team. This is on top of Gold Attack's 35% base chance, meaning you'll crit more often than not. The next 2 passives are very similar. Heat Up increases your attack, and Aim Support is for agility. The numbers for both of these passives are 10, 15, 20, and 30%. Heat Up is an obvious addition, while Aim Support is here to make your synthesis more reliable. Heat Up is from the Warrior class, Diligent Discipline is from Brawler, while Aim Support is from Gunner. Gunner unlocks with an automatic quest if you set a course for Camaro. All these passives incentivize running a party with multiple merchants, and they get the biggest boost from the last stack, which involves all 4 being of the same type. It might seem odd to run a team consisting of only one archetype, but you can always make one of your teammates more supportive. For example, I gave Heismay a bunch of buffs and debuffs so he could let everyone else do more damage. Muraku Kaja is from the Commander line, Mataru Kaja is from General, both of these unlock from Barden. Rakunda is from the Faker archetype, which unlocks with Alonzo. A different support move you could add here is Rebellion, which increases a teammate's crit rate by 15%. In addition, by the time you get to Area 3, you can buy attack down items for super cheap. Moving on to gear, for the main character, I am using a weapon called Investor's Abacus. You get this weapon from completing the quest to start the Faker archetype, and you have to purify it at the church. You can actually purify this item multiple times, and it can have two separate effects. The first halves the cost of money using skills, while the second doubles your cost and damage while giving 3 luck points. In my opinion, the double cost and damage version is much better because you won't be worried about money, and doubling your damage this early on is pretty insane. The accessory I'm using for the protagonist is called the Phantasmal Doll, which you can get from shops that are only open at night. This accessory lets a character act twice in a row. It doesn't create a new press turn, it just lets one character act a bit more often. Your protagonist should be doing the most damage of any party member as long as you've been putting your points into strength, so letting them act twice in a row is pretty nice. This item is pretty expensive normally. The best day I found to buy it is on July 27 because the area you're in will have a big 30% discount on this day. For my other party members, I don't have anything special. I just made sure to get both Strohl and Hulkenburg the best weapons from the shop I could because weapons matter a lot for your damage. Heismay doesn't really need a good weapon as he rarely attacks. If you want a character to have a healing skill, you could give him the Mage Devotion accessory, but personally, I would just use items. To finish off, I wanted to briefly discuss the Tycoon archetype, which is the upgraded version of Merchant. This lineage continues to be really good. It has a stronger version of Gold Attack, which does heavy damage instead of weak, Critical Trade, which doubles your crit rate, and Almighty Boost for even more damage. So late game, you can just move your passives onto Tycoon and keep going. I will likely also make a video for this archetype, as there will be more passives unlocked late game, so be sure to follow to catch that video. So, hopefully I've shown why it can be worth it to use the Merchant archetype, and even run 4 Merchants at once. You get 30% crit rate, attack, and agility, double effectiveness on all your items, and you never have to worry about MP ever again. It's pretty crazy to me that Atlus gave us Freykugel and an Almighty Figment Slash as early as the 2nd dungeon. Now, I'm not saying everyone has to run Quadruple Merchant, use what you like, and there will likely be other good archetype synergies out there. But I'm done for today, hope everyone's having fun with the game, and thank you for watching.